Are you ready for the heavyweight championship of the world? Are you ready?
Hey, and we're back. Welcome to another episode of Ant in This Corner. Coming out the white corner, my name is Bill, and I'm ready to fight.
And coming out the black corner, my name is Barry, and I'm ready to fight.
All right, I want a good, clean fight. Let's get it on.
Hey, welcome to Ant in This Corner, where we settle the score once and for all on who's the best. That includes best music, best shows, best movies, best anything. And today, who we talking to, Bill?
Hey, we got Who Did It Better. We got another episode of Who Did It Better. We got 1981 Maze and Frankie Beverly against 2019 Beyonce. Y'all know the song Before I Let Go. But today we have a special guest. We have Chasity from Midnight R&B Edition. How you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm doing real good. Thank you guys for having me on the show. I'm truly honored, and I'm just happy to just talk about music and just talk about everything on the platform. So I'm super excited about this episode. Thank you.
Yes. And before we even move a little further, I want to thank you for coming and gracing our page. I know you've been doing it. We've talked for about 3 years, and I don't even know how we even connected, to be honest with you. It just happened. But I guess when you're in this space, things happen. But thank you for doing, you repost our stuff, you like our stuff, you make comments. And, I think a lot of people take that kind of stuff for granted, but we don't. So we do want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, no problem. Like I said, I like it. Support music. And one thing about me is I don't care if you're big or small. I'm just about the love of music and the love of rhythm and blues, because rhythm and blues is a genre that needs to always be respected, because without rhythm and blues, there wouldn't be no other genres. And that's about that. Thank you.
For sure. And if you're not subscribed already, make sure you go check out Midnight R&B Edition. Go check her out. Love the content, love the interviews. So just head over there, subscribe, and soak up all that content.
Love the battles, the album battles.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just waiting for that one album that you talk about.
Oh,
that's
God.
me. That's me. Okay, who want to smoke? They gonna come get all of it.
Well, I would like to have y'all together against each other and see who's gonna get the smoke. Because I got love to see it.
We'll do that.
We argue enough. That's the problem.
Y'all arguing? Oh God! Well, then I'm gonna have to separate. Get y'all.
Man, we argue enough. I'm gonna tell you the problem, and I say this all the time. I'm older than Barry by 9 years, right? But Barry is a researcher. I lived through a lot of the era music, so we always go back and forth about certain things, but it makes for great content. So we love it though. We love it.
which is why Bill's gonna sit outside the ring this time. I put on the gloves. So we're about to, duke it out, but we're talking about Maze featuring Frankie Beverly and Beyonce. Bill, you got some stats for us?
Absolutely. So actually, we got to give Chasity. She got to come out of a corner. I'm going to assume pink, maybe green.
Oh, y'all definitely did y'all research. Oh Lord, yeah.
Yeah, we did our research.
Yes.
So whatever color you want to come out of, whatever color corner, it's all good.
Oh no. Anything don't matter. Look.
All right. But 1981, Maze and Frankie Beverly, they were number 13 on the Billboard R&B chart. 2019, Beyonce's Cover, number 16 on US Billboard Hot 100. And number 24 on Hot R&B Hip Hop Songs. So we got we have some hardware that they're bringing to this fight. So, Barry, you ready?
I'm ready.
Miss Chasity, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Oh man, I think I know where she's going, but I'll just hold it in. So you guys know when we do this, we try to make sure that we keep our categories. We look at vocals, we look at production, and we look at overall impact. Those are our three areas that we're going to cover. So we're going to start with vocals. Who did it better vocally?
It's on you, Chasity.
Okay, so vocally, I love both of them vocally. Honestly, like I said, Maze is home. That's home. Like that's just like family reunion, just great times, but not even that. It's just the feeling of when you're with your family or not there, just with close relatives, just to understand having a good time. Maze, he brings you back to the heart of home. Beyonce brings you to the current of celebration of having a party with your friends and going out to the club and stuff like that. But if I had to say voice-wise, and it's gonna be shocking for a lot of people, look, I'm partially behind because I'm a DC head. Y'all know I love DC. DC, that's my heart. It's DC. Okay. But if I had to look back at it when I sit and look at the whole song to its entirety, I'm gonna give it to Maze. I'm going to give the Maze and them because Frankie Beverly, he just hit a note when he gets to that before I let you. I'm like, Beyonce ain't do that. She did somewhat, but she didn't go high. Yeah, he went high. He went to the heavens. So when I look back at it and look and see that, that part of the era and that stage or whatever the case may be, I'm going to pick Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. I'm picking him.
I love it. And I think it depends on how you want to look at this section. If we're going off degree of difficulty, I do think it's tougher to do what Beyonce does on her track, right? Vocally, I just think she's a vocalist and it's hard to mimic what she does on a record. So I'll give her credit there. However, I'm not going with degree of difficulty. I want to look at overall vocal arrangement. And these are some of the points that you brought up, Chasity. I believe the notes on the Maze track, they set a mood, and not even just the to the heavens part that you mentioned, but even at the beginning, the it's like some of the notes in the vocal arrangements in their Maze's version. That's the reason why it is a karaoke classic, right? So just off of vocal execution, I'm going with. I feel like they nailed the that whole cookout vibe and the feelings that the song elicits. I think Maze did a stronger job. So I'm going to give them points this round for vocals.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So it looks like we got 2 votes for Maze featuring Frankie Beverly for vocals. Let's see if Beyonce can catch up on production. All right. Production. Who do we got?
Well, production is funny because I didn't even realize this until I looked at my research today, that I know back at home, this is Louisiana. I'm from Louisiana. So this is get it ready now. This is Jubilee. You know what I'm saying? So this is home. Like this is Louisianian, Beyonce's tying into the New Orleans bounce culture, but Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, I didn't know this was live in NOLA. So they're kind of like the same a little bit. This is where he did his song, and when you hear the album and stuff, this is live from NOLA. So they're kind of like a little similar when they talk about, I think, area where they were trying to go to navigate that sound. But when I look back at it, it's like, even though Amazing Them is like the 1-2 step, cookout, stuff like that, I can go with my sororities and go with them and be with my Divine Nine, and we jump and cut up. And I've seen it happen, and it's crazy, y'all. They'll play it like the original for like maybe I would say a good 10-15 seconds, but Beyonce supersedes it. Her sound supersedes it because it brings in that title, that modern sound, New Orleans, NOLA, like rap, R&B, you know what I'm saying? Even though Maze is R&B as well, and their stuff and the instrumentation. But when Beyonce brought it to the modern version in 2019 at that time, and then with the homecoming thing, it's tied into that homecoming HBCU feeling. So I'm going to give it to Queen B.
All right, so with this section for me, it's definitely tough. And so I think the beat and the original, it's a classic. I think that's the reason every HBCU band has their rendition of the original. But like you mentioned, Beyonce's version, I think has been adopted by it's a Divine Nine instant classic, right? So I'm gonna give Beyonce some love here. Just hear me out first. I do think she was smart to incorporate the marching band sound. So it kind of brought her to a different angle with that. So it sound fresh, but it also sound familiar. Also, I didn't know about the third sample until I did my research. But number one, you already hear the candy in there, the cameo. But the get ready, the DJ Jubilee. Not necessarily too familiar with that in Florida, but I'm like, she done sampled 3 tracks on this record. And obviously the Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. So to do that and stick the landing, because all three of those songs are iconic, whether it be regionally or globally. And for you to kind of stick the landing and people recognize your song is an instant classic, I think that's extremely difficult to do. So to juggle all of that, I'm giving her cool points for that, but I'm going to say it's a push. One record has done beautiful things with the Divine Nine, but another record, it's a classic. At every battle of the bands, you're gonna hear that.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's a push, and that's just credit to Beyonce for being able to kind of like give Maze a run for his money after being in the game for only 4 years with this track.
Yeah. All right, so we got Chasity has it at 1-1. Barry has 1 with a tie. And a push. All right, so let's round it out. So overall impact, we are looking at everything from numbers to success to everything that's about overall impact. This is where we're gonna hit it. Number 3, overall impact. Let's go.
Oh yeah, I would give it to Maze featuring Frankie Beverly. Like, it's probably what he said. What Bill said, like pretty much what it is. It ties into the HBC feeling, like the impact of it. I mean, you hear this at barbecues, you hear this at weddings. Like when this song, people get up on, especially Black people, our culture, we get up to the dance floor and we have a good time. It's funny because we have a yearly annual down here in Dallas, Texas, where Maze featuring Frankie Beverly, they do something every year down here. It's an all-white party. And everybody goes to that. And they, they play that and celebrate and all that stuff here in Dallas, Texas. So they're really impactful, but not even just that. I mean, for Beyonce to sample it, I mean, come on, like you got Beyonce to sample the song. That's enough in your catalog, and he's forever paid. And it's, for me, the impact for me is like, I can never say that, nothing against Beyonce, because don't get me wrong, I feel like Beyonce is perfect. If you talked earlier about the HBCUs and marching bands, I feel like she did that to inspire people to go to HBCUs and colleges and stuff like that. Because Beyonce did do that. I think she, if I'm correct, I think she gave scholarships at the time when they were doing that homecoming experience type of stuff. Because I know she was doing a lot of donation stuff. But when you look back at it in the original, everybody's gonna always know that original came from somewhere. And for Maze featuring Frankie Beverly to do that for them, for her. And then they've been talking about all other hip hop artists. So like, I mean, the impact is huge. So for me, I'm gonna pick the original Maze featuring Frankie Beverly.
Okay.
I agree. And I do think some of it is prisoners of time. I just think as time goes on, I think Beyonce's version is gonna be able to carve out its own legacy. But it's just too far back right now, with one being is 42 years old versus a 3-year-old toddler. So I'm going Maze, and even with the Beyonce cover, Maze is still getting played on the radio station today. It's getting played every at 2 p.m. If you I'm picking my wife up from work or whatever, wherever I'm going, if I'm going to see some kids at a high school or whatever, that song's getting played midday. So both versions I feel like have a respectable legacy. It's just that there's too much ground to cover with Maze's version. So Beyonce's on its way to becoming a classic. It's already there. So it's no question, it's Maze.
Well, y'all surprised. Y'all surprised me on that one. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Chasity. Y'all surprised.
No, he's forever paid. So I'm not gonna even ask about that. Look, your opinion is on that. I'm not gonna argue. What? No, you gonna supersede that. Look.
Y'all surprised me on that one. I honestly, I thought I was gonna hear push. Thought I was gonna hear tie, but y'all both went with Frankie Beverly.
It's too early for one of the tracks. I think in 10 years, I do think when I first heard she was going to be covering stuff, I'm like, why would you cover that? That's not something you play with. So for her to actually be able to carve out her own legacy with a song that's so beloved, that's the testament to her star power, and her, the producer worked some magic on that one, because when I hear both versions now, I'm not thinking about Maze when I'm hearing the Beyonce version. I'm not thinking about Beyonce when I'm hearing the other version. They stand alone. It's just one's been standing for a long time. So it's just
yeah, that's true. And it's amazing you said that cover song, because Beyonce has cover songs on her debut album. She did, The Closer I Get to You.
Closer I Get to You.
Yep. It's on the Star. And like I said, for me, I love them, but her Beehive, they may not love it like I do. But when you look back at the cover song that Beyonce has created, and not even that, what technically created or covered, but not that made it her own lane. And y'all, she got writing credits. So like I said, she got her own little twist to that too. Yeah. They're gonna go to that one. They're gonna go to that cover song when it comes down to as time goes by. And it's sad, y'all, because for me, I'm gonna be honest. When I kept hearing it every time I was at these D9 functions and stuff, I was low-key kind of hurt because I'm like, wait a minute, y'all cutting off my childhood. Like, you can't be cutting off no Maze. I'm like, yeah, but I'm not mad because of, the kids now, this generation, they TikTok kids, so they want to know what Beyonce's doing. They don't want to know what Maze is doing. But for me, I'm not gonna lie, I'm with Westbrook. I'm like, for me, it just hurts my heart sometimes when the cover gets played more than the original. But at the end of the day, it's, whatever, I feel like it's a demographic, the age range. So for me, when I look back at it, I love Maze and the version, like that's the one I'm gonna always tie to. But at the end of the day, as I'm getting older and I have a goddaughter, she's gonna want to listen to Beyonce. So I'm not gonna negate that. But Maze, they got my heart with that.
And it depends on what you're trying to do too. I think if you're trying to show if you're trying to show Divine Nine some love, and you're trying to single some people out in the crowd, you're gonna play the Beyonce version. If you're trying to get everybody on the dance floor, you're gonna play the Maze version. I just think.
Well, man, I can't tell because the 50-year-olds would dance to Beyonce.
They sure will, and they have, and they do. Yeah. They will, they have, and they do.
Thank you, Bill. Okay, thank you, Bill. I'm like,
I think it's more. I think as more time goes by, though, I don't think you're gonna see them because like how they blend the tracks, like
they do.
I think they're gonna stop doing that. Eventually, I think they're gonna stop doing that. It's just I think one of them so much fresher because even though it's like 3 or 4 years old now, but it seemed like it just came out yesterday. I think as more time passes, I feel like people aren't going to associate the two as much, but both of them will get played at every event though.
I agree with that. They will definitely both play.
I think for the next maybe 10 years, I think they'll still blend them. After that, Maze will start to be phased out.
I don't think that's going to happen.
I think so. I'm telling you, like, going to these events and seeing what happens when this song comes on, Beyonce's version comes on, they go ham. I'm talking about everybody.
So we kind of in who did it better right now because who did it? So we're kind of in it.
Well.
But before that, just let me I do like for me, I listen to like more like Tidal more so than terrestrial radio. But I do think terrestrial radio, that's a way to introduce folks to a lot of music. Like if you're in a car ride with your parent, it's kind of programming you on what to add to your playlist as you get older.
Yeah.
Whenever a song is in constant rotation midday, it's not going anywhere. It's a top 40 record. You're going to hear it at corporate events. Same with Beyonce. Yes, I don't think it's getting phased out. I think they're both going to be able to live on their own. That's just my opinion.
That a lot of our old generation songs, like Isley Brothers and Earth, Wind & Fire, they tend to go in waves. Because if you think about,
I agree with
what's the song for Hell's Kitchen? Fire, the fire. At at the beginning of Hell's Kitchen.
Okay.
I think that's the theme song. For the Hell's Kitchen.
I know the song, but I don't know the theme song of Hell's Kitchen. My aunt used to watch that, so I can tell you.
Okay, so the theme song is, I think it's Fire, and I want to say the Ohio Players.
Ohio Players.
Okay, so all right, Ohio Players.
Okay.
Right? That song was a hit from back in the days.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear it. Now it goes back up because now it's at the beginning of Hell's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of our old songs, they go up and down in waves depending upon a commercial or you hear that. Like Barry, you and I were talking about Just a Friend, Mario's version.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when Biz Marquis's version came out, it was really big. You didn't hear it as much. Here come Mario. Now you hear it again. So I think it goes in droves. It goes in waves.
If you're on terrestrial radio, if you're on a soundtrack, and this is going to stay on a soundtrack because people are going to want a Beyonce record. And when she's overcharging, Maze is going to come with like, Palm, like, hey, we'll give you a hometown discount. So it's going to be part of like soundtracks. Like
have you seen? No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the originals always they benefit off of covers, and in this case, where Beyonce is covering your track, I think it's introducing.
Depending on the cover.
If Luther do your cover, it's a wrap. If Luther do your cover, you're getting buried. But I feel
unless
like,
you're done at Hathaway.
Yeah, I feel like with this, I'm not grading it on how long it's getting played at the cookout. It's the fact that it's still getting played at the cookout. I don't think it's going anywhere. I don't think it's going to get phased out, but time will tell. It's been here for 41 years. I think the next decade is going to be just as kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, it depends on the song. We're in this era of TikTok. So TikTok is another reason why these songs get pushed or just surge back over time. Yeah. So for me, like I said, it's up to us to really make sure that, these songs are getting honored. These people are getting honored. And I think too, because of the age group that we're in, we're so used to both, well, especially Maze, we're used to that. These new kids, they don't know, they know Beyonce. So they're going to go Beyonce. But I think with the TikTok or some of the kids that do their research and like, oh, no. Do Maze. And this is where she understands. But I think too, Beyonce, what I like about her, and I will say this, she gives credit when credit is due. People say, oh, she just takes. No, she does definitely honor the ones who came before her. Mm-hmm. I think the thing about her fans sometimes just say it's just Beyonce and that's it, and that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? And I think it needs to be an honest understanding when it comes from your fave learn from your fave. You know what I'm saying? So everybody comes from somewhere. It's a blueprint. But, or you're going to take the blueprint and make it your own, or you're just going to make it into something and make it something to help research through time. Like Barry said, generation to generation.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you guys have, well, we know you got Frankie Beverly. Maze featuring Frankie Beverly as Who Did It Better. But I think we do know that Beyonce is coming around that corner.
It's coming.
Where they're both going to live in the same universe.
I won't be surprised in 10 years if you ask me the question again. I'm still better. I think Beyonce may actually eclipse.
Because the vocals won't change. The production don't change.
Yeah.
The only thing changes would be impact.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Today, if you ask me who did it better overall, I'm going with Maze.
Yeah,
me too. 10 years, I believe Beyonce is starting to kind of tug on the cape a little bit. So in 10 years, my answers in 10 or 5 years, my answer might change.
Well, she blended at Renaissance, y'all, so she bringing it up no matter what. So she's bringing up the Renaissance concerts. She'll play but you know what she'll do, y'all? She'll play 10 seconds and go to the next song. So at the end of the day, everybody's getting excited. It's like she's revving them up to kind of, get them energized. You know what I'm saying? But I love that she gives her minds to Maze and them, because for me, like I said, they are the blueprint. They are one of the blueprints. And I just don't understand how people can't. Everybody loves Beyonce, but make sure that at the end of the day is when you are honoring the song, the originators need to get their props too. So that's all I can say about that.
Absolutely.
But we love Queen B. We ain't trying to
listen. Look, please, we love Queen B.
Yes.
I know how y'all are. Please, we love y'all. We love her.
We do.
Y'all get.
For her to take a classic and make it her own, that's just, like I said, if you listen to us carefully, we're definitely showing respect here.
We're showing respect, guys.
This
we're
is a
showing
difficult
respect.
feat, and we do not take that lightly.
Yep.
But
go ahead, Barry.
No, but at the end of the day, it looks like, hey, this is what we think. It's a matter of opinion. I'm anxious to hear what some of these folks think. So number one, thank you for joining us, Chasity. You just lasted 12 rounds with we lasted 12 rounds with a champion.
Yeah.
How do you feel now?
Good. I love it. I just love. I feel like I'm in the lion's den, pun intended, because I'm a Leo. But no, I love it because I love it. It's funny because I'm on the opposite end, because I host and have two people now. So now since I'm on this end, I have my debates and I have my passion, but it's just all love. And I love, doing stuff like this, because it just goes to show you that when music hits the heart, it touches the heart. And for me, like I've always said, this music has to touch the soul. And when it touches the soul, that means it transcends over time. And now people can understand why you love a certain song or a certain album or a certain, impact or producer or somebody that made you feel some type of way. And I was honored to do this. And thank you guys so much from the bottom of my heart, for real.
Yeah. And we thank you for being here.
Yeah. And like Chasity said, she's on the opposite end. If you want to see her on the opposite of the opposite end, head over to Midnight R&B Edition and check out everything that she has going on. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to put your opinions in the comment section. Leave us your 2 cents on who did it better. Was it Babe or was it Maze? Let us know. And after that, Bill, what's another way the fans can show support?
Hey, like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel so that, hey, y'all know what's up. Don't forget to hit that notification bell.
There we go. This concludes our episode of Who Did It Better. Thank you for tuning in, for adding this corner. That's all we got.
Peace.